There's some places we go to now that are like white knuckle stuff, right? But the worst was when we went to Fontana and they'd have the freaking mile per hour board in the turn one, and you're running down the front stretch and you're looking at that thing. You're like, 212, 213. Yeah. Oh, shit, I got to turn.
Yeah. Hey everybody, it's Dale Jr. back again for another episode of the Dale Jr. Download. We got a great guest for you today here on this show. Ryan Blaney's coming into the studio. We're going to talk about the season he's had. He's got a big announcement to make as well. That's really the sole reason for him being here. We won't delay that any further. Right here in the Arby's studio. Don't forget about Arby's new Meat in 3 box. Get more meal for your money at Arby's. We have the meats. We got Ryan Blaney here. Let's bring him in. I'm excited about this, man. Appreciate your friendship. Thanks for coming through. You got a little bit of an announcement. Do you want to put that out now? You want to shelve it for later in the show? I'm excited.
You're running the show, man.
I'm running the show. They ain't no plan. Whatever. So usually, Bobby Marcos, he's our badass historian, always gives me a big old couple of sheets of notes. But since we're such good friends, man, we're just gonna wing this one.
Good.
But you getting a contract extension.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Yeah, signing a new one with Penske. Really excited to get it done for sure. And
there was a little bit of talk, man. Free agent.
I was seeing that on social media.
You like that? I don't know if you like that because you're happy. You're good. You know what you were gonna do.
Yeah.
But man, it feels good. People say things like that about you.
It does. It does. And I see the social media stuff, and we never put out years in our deals, right? Yeah. We just never put that out there. Yeah. So there was all these speculation going on, Blaney to this car or that car, free agent. And in the back of my mind for a second, like we already had this
done.
It's been in place for a while. And I really wanted to be like, start stirring the pot in the media and be like, well, I don't know. Options are open. Yeah. But I'm really pumped. I mean, gosh, I walked in the door over there in 2012 and, young 18, 19-year-old kid, and just got an opportunity that Roger wanted to give me. And, whether it was running their nationwide cars at the time, running Brad's trucks. Yep. I owe them a lot. I owe Roger a lot, all those guys, Walt, Bud Danker, Jonathan Gibson, all those guys that really helped me out along the way. Mike Nelson, Tim Hendrick, was a huge part of that. And for them to stick with me for as long as they did, when they could have canned me at any time if I wasn't performing, or even early on, and to still be here, 14 years later, it's unbelievable. So really no place I could ever really see myself being, because they've treated me so great. Roger's been loyal to me, and I want to be that way back to him. Yeah. Right. So
I might have told this story to you before, man, but we all know Roger Penske is a super badass dude. There's only a couple guys like him in the whole industry, like him and Rick. There's just some really, really just badass businessmen that just can kick ass in everything they do.
It's another breed of human being.
He is.
I just don't like him, Rick, Leonard Wood, the Wood family. Like, they're all that way. I don't have that in me. Like, I don't have that.
You don't. He was, that's not, I don't believe that's entirely true, because Roger Penske, when he was your age, probably wasn't the way he is today, right? He built that resume. He built that persona. Yeah. And he built that respect. I was always nervous about talking in front of a crowd, but much less our peers. We go to the banquet every year, and if you finish in the top 10, years ago, if you finished in the top 10, you spoke. You got up at the podium, you talked. Yeah. And, man, I was always terrified of that. And so we were at the banquet one day, and I always wrote any speech I'd ever give. I wrote it out, and I had it on a prompter, and I tried to memorize it, and I tried to deliver it naturally, but it always sucked, and I never felt great about it. And we were at the banquet one year, and I think y'all won the championship. I don't remember. Maybe it was you, maybe it was Logano. I can't remember. Maybe it was Brad. I don't know. But he gets up there and gives his owner's speech and didn't have any notes and just went. Yeah. And he didn't care. He didn't worry, I suppose, about who he might forget. Of course, he probably forgot nobody, but he just gave this very matter-of-fact, honest. Most of the time when people get up there and they're giving a speech, man, it's just hard to plug in. They're reading it you're happy for them. You care about it. You're glad they're doing what they're doing, but you just can't really feel it.
Yeah.
His speech was so freaking awesome, and I challenged myself from there on out that I would go up on the podium of any time and just go off my gut. And golly, it was scary at first, but it's so much easier.
Yeah, I think it's great. It's way easier. Yeah. I feel like, and it comes more from the heart.
Yep. But I was so impressed by his ability to go up there and do that and do it with such class and dignity and perfection. I mean, it said a lot of it's who he is, right? And man, I didn't really know him until I got the chance to get to see him around our kind of, in the Cup garage, probably in the last, 10, 15 years. I really never really interacted with him much at all.
Yeah.
Until, honestly, I think when you started driving for him and we had become friends, he would text me every now and then about that and a couple other things. But pretty neat guy.
Yeah, he's an unbelievable human being. And it's been a pleasure to get to know him, kind of like you. And, just to have somebody that, you can call up anytime. Yep. I'm going to answer the phone whenever he calls me, no matter how early or late it is. And same way there, even if it's not about racing, if it's just about how's everything going, and the speech thing is nuts that he can just get up there and do that. And someone told me it was one of those speeches he gave at the banquet, because, you have your notes and then they put it up on the teleprompter behind everybody. And someone was like, Roger's halfway through his speech. And I'm like, gosh, this just is so natural. And this person looked behind him to see, like, man, how's that teleprompter looking? It's blank. It's not on. And I was like, yeah, that's how he does it. And he will remember everybody that he ever meets.
Yep.
And he's always put a huge emphasis on, people, right? People is his biggest thing.
If you mean that you don't have that, that's the one thing I don't have. Like Rick's the same way. He remembers everybody. He remembers anecdotes about their lives, something they're going through, something with their kid, their wife, whatever. And golly, man, I wish I had that ability to retain all that.
Yeah.
Names and all that stuff. And
I'm good at faces.
Yeah.
Names is.
I'm doing my damn best, bud. Yeah. But I ain't nothing like they are.
No disrespect, but I'm trying. But no, man, it's great. I'm happy we finally got this out there, and commitment level from their side and my side.
Was it easy?
It was easy. Yeah. It was great. It's just when you are comfortable with people like that. It was very short talks. I was honestly really, honored that they came to me when they did, and wanted to do this for a long time and things like that. And I'm like, of course, I'd love to continue to be here and things like that. So it was pretty short conversations as far as that side goes, and put it in the drawer, and then we move on to the future. Right? Yeah. So yeah, it's good to get it out there. So stop the social media rumblings
that's for sure.
I'm going somewhere.
Yeah. Now somebody else arrives to the top of that conversation. Yeah. Whoever else is a free agent, but like Kyle Busch, boy, we're stirring it a little bit here, where he might go or could go, right? But so y'all's season has been a bit of a struggle. Honestly, man, I look at things from a really wide perspective. I think a lot of people, maybe yourself, look at it week by week. What was it like last week? Was it better? Was it not better? The next week. But when I look at it, when I back up, I don't really see. The only thing I see with you guys is pit road. Pit road's a struggle, and this week it was a little bit on you, I suppose.
Yeah.
But other than that, your car, like the first run at Texas this week, man, really good speed.
Yeah.
I think if you don't, get mired back in the back of the pack, I mean, you find yourself up with an opportunity to run top 5.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, I think, the last 3 weeks the finishes haven't been great. Mm-hmm. Like Kansas, we were a little off. Talladega, we were fast and got, tore up there. And then this week, like you said, the first round of the race, we qualified bad, drove up to, I think, 13th. Mm-hmm. And then I had a brain fart on pit road, did something I never have done before on pit road. And
how do you think that happens? Because it does happen. It happens to people where you do something completely, you've never done, you do something like that and you're like.
If you do it long enough, you're going to do things you've never done before.
That's right.
And I've never done this on pit road. Pit road for us is it's mainly routine, right? Like you have
what exactly happened?
Bang, bang. Yeah. So we're coming around the 48. He was in the stall before us. And it was at the timing of it was like his guys were running around the right side. So they're as wide as they're going to be. So I'm looking at his guys. Like I don't want to hit any of them. I'm trying to get outside of the line, the mark where you have to be outside of if those guys are working on the right side, you have to be outside this orange line.
Oh.
Did you know that?
No.
Yeah. It's like a safety net for those guys. So I'm looking at that, looking at his guys, and I usually coming down second, and I usually bang, bang into neutral and then get into my box. But like I had a lot going on, trying to get around his guys. I'm like, all right. And this is like afterthought of like, how did I do this? Because at the time I had no idea what was going on. So I just pushed the clutch in, kept it in gear, and I kind of got around because I needed to get my hands back to the right and my wheel straight. So I just kept my foot on the clutch, but in my mind, I thought I went to neutral. And so they dropped the right side. I pull back a gear thinking I'm in first, but now I'm in third. And I don't look at my dash, right? Like you're never like, oh, what gear am I in on pit road? It's always,
It's up here.
And so I leave the pit box, stall it, leave the pit box, stall it again. I stalled it 3 times before I realized I was in third gear. That's how unaware I was of what I did. Like I thought I broke a transaxle or something because it wouldn't get going. Yeah. And I looked down and it says a big old 3 right there, like an idiot. Yeah. And then get back down to first and go. So yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things. Like I said, you do it enough, you make mistakes that like you never make before. You do things that you never do. And yeah, that was pretty foolish of me.
Yeah. But. Well, hey, I mean, I guess, I always, when things don't go well if we're fast, I can take it. It's when you're not fast and you have those kind of days. It's when you don't feel like you kind of climb out of that. But
yeah, I think we're in a good spot though. Really, I mean, like I said, the last 3 weeks the finishes haven't been great, but we're still decent in points. And I look forward to going to Watkins Glen this weekend. We were great at Coda, and hopefully that side is continuing to go. But I mean, it's getting to that point of the year, right? We're 11 races in, 11 races in, I think. And like you're starting to see who is the best, right? Obviously you got the 45, the 11, the 9 is really starting to shine. Like chasing that group, have got it going on right now. I think we're right there. So there's like 5 to 7 of us that are kind of in this pack together. And some guys haven't gotten the finishes. Like the 20's been really good, and he got wrecked leading at Texas.
19.
The 19 has been good. He got tore up a little bit. The 5 is going to get it together. The 24 is going to get it together. Like it's just it's the normal guys I think that are running good, but some of them have kind of had bad issues that you're going to have to really pay attention to, and you just fingers crossed that the 45 starts having problems so we can have a prayer to catch him.
I don't think, if I was in this, pack, right, I would pretty much assume that I'm probably not going to get to that guy and start thinking about what I need to do where do I want to be? Where do you want to be? I know, of course, you want to be second. If you can't catch 45, you want to be second. But like, what's acceptable at the end of the regular part of the season?
I think if you can put yourself in the top 5, that's a pretty good spot. Yeah. Top 5 or 6.
Did you hear they did 10,000 simulations with this point system?
It was like
85% of the time the champion came out of top 6.
Yeah, I saw that.
So there's like a 15% chance.
Yeah.
From 7th, 8th, but outside the top 10, no chance.
Yeah. I think you could. You could.
10,
I mean, if
you're going to start 90 points back.
If you're
outside the top 10.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I mean, it could swing a lot though. You never know.
You're gonna have to win 2. You're gonna have to do what Tony Stewart did. Win
half of
5
them,
races. Which I don't see anybody doing that.
Yeah.
But then again, the 45 did what he did.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I love this. I'm probably too obsessed with it. Everybody I talk to seems to be a little bit less excited about it than me.
The format?
Yeah.
I love the format.
I know everybody loves it, but I'm a little bit too obsessed with it.
Yeah.
So I remember as a kid going, and you probably do too, going week to week to week, wondering whether you were going to gain, lose big chunks, or you just, even just as watching my dad, right? Not even in my own career, but like all through the 80s and 90s going, man, if he, middle of the season, we're at Bristol or something, it's 10 races in and he has 4 flat tires leading the race and gets slapped twice and we run 25th. Yeah. I mean, it was devastating.
Oh, yeah.
It was so devastating.
Yeah, I mean, we said this when it started, like, your bad days are going to hurt way worse.
Yeah.
And your good days, you're going to get really rewarded for having good days and winning the race. Yeah. And I find myself looking at the points way more than I did before.
Yes.
Because, I would honestly look more through the regular season, like, oh, how many stage wins do I have? And I would look where I'm at in points, like, because that's where I'm going to get a little bit of bonus points. But like wins, where are my bonus points at? And now, like, you're watching like a hawk every single week, and it makes the stakes going to the racetrack every week so much higher, I think. And that's good. That's perfect.
Yeah, I love hearing that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of energy and excitement, I think, around, I think this helps a lot of causes. I mean, we could just sit here and talk about it forever, but, we used to, so I tuned in Sunday, and we're, we get the race started, and Christopher Bell has his accident, and I'm like, holy that's huge.
Yeah.
No stage points. And then the 22 on pit road, I'm like, oh man, that's freaking massive.
Yeah.
No stage points. He's gonna fall. And Ty Gibbs, and there's a couple other issues some other people had, and I'm like, oh my God, this wouldn't be happening. This wouldn't matter.
No.
And so the race is the race a good race is less critical now. Like all these little things that are happening are making this race good for me as a fan, right?
Yeah.
I'm seeing this guy's having trouble. Oh, that's going to be terrible for his points at the end of the day. And this guy went out and gobbled up a bunch of stage points and had a great result, and that's going to be massive for him. And so I'm less likely to zero in on whether I was entertained by the on-track product in this situation. I'm more – because I'm entertained by some other things. And like you say, every race has higher stakes. It's that way for a fan watching. You realize that when the sun comes up on Sunday, damn, this is important. And and I think I feel that in the O'Reilly series as an owner. I tell my guys, I'm like, y'all don't know. You can't go out there and bust your ass underneath somebody trying to take a high risk pass.
Yeah.
And ruin your day. You
have
can't
to be
do
more
that.
Cool about
you cannot
things.
do that this year.
Yeah.
You get away with it last year.
Yeah. And you know what I love too is when someone wins the race, if it's their first win of the year, the first thing out of their mouth anymore is not "Welcome to the playoffs." Yeah. Like you're celebrating the win,
the moment,
because that's what it's all about. You did a great job that day. Who cares about you? Yeah. This is months and months down the road that this is. Talk about the win. Like these guys did a great job to win the race, and it means a lot on points. Obviously, winning the race means a lot, and you're not talking about they're locked in, to the thing. So
I agree. Yeah, they did a good job, man. You just said it a minute ago. Bad races are going to matter, and wins matter. Like we've really weighed wins to really make a big difference, and you can see that when you look at the points for the O'Reilly Series and the Cup Series. The Truck Series is a lot tighter, so I mean it could go either way. Not going to have this 100-point lead for every year for the guy out front, but
I mean it's tight. Like you get obviously the 40 in our deal, right? The 45 is out there a lot. The 11 has a little gap on the 9. The 9 has like a 30-point gap on me, but then like me to, and I have a little gap I think on 5th, like a 25-point gap, but like 5th to 14th, is like separated by like 50 points or something. Like it's not a lot of separation from putting yourself 5th to the back half of the chase.
That's right.
Like it's a dogfight in that area, and that's fun. I look at that side even. I don't even look at my own points. I'm like, oh, where'd these guys? How'd their day go?
You mentioned Christopher Bell and the 19 Briscoe. There are some guys that in our little stretch as broadcasters in the summer. There's going to be some people that we're going to be watching that I'm going to be entertained by how much ground can they make up. Right? They're going to climb. How high can they climb, right?
Yeah.
We all starting to realize that top 6, that top 5 is kind of where everybody wants to be and end up. And so it's going to be fun seeing who can survive, who's in that 10th to 16th that can survive these guys climbing through. Who gets bumped out, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because even though we were in a meeting the other day with our Amazon folks. And I stood up and not literally stood up, but I was like, the cut line doesn't matter anymore. Let's not, we always show the cut line every race.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, here's the cut line, gal. I was like, the cut line don't matter anymore. It's more about the top 6. Let's get this all in our heads, And some folks were like, well, I don't know. The cut line's kind of cool still. And to their point, it's like making the playoffs, even if you are one of those guys in the back and you privately, deep in your mind, know you don't have a shot in hell winning championship. you did get the invitation to this private club, right? And if you're not in it, it feels like if you miss this and you're not one of those guys and you're not highlighted, celebrated, talked about when the chase starts, it feels like big letdown. So there's some folks that are going to be trying to stay in there and some guys that are trying to climb in there. That's going to be fun to see.
And I think once the chase starts, like you look at those guys that are going to be the back half, right? Like the bottom 5 or 6, right? I'm excited. I'm be interested to we could end up there. I'm not saying we might not, but like the mindset as opposed to the playoffs for those guys, if you're in that position, it's like, if I can average a 11th place finish for 10 weeks, I could have a shot. I could have a shot at getting to the top 5. Like, it's not like I got to go run, I got to win one of these races, or I got to 3 race stretch. I got to be good and then reset. It's just like, man, we could just put some solid days together here and we'll climb. We can inch our way up there. So I think that's the best way to do it. And that mindset, I think, is going to be pretty cool.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, I want to ask you about Penske performance. We talked a little bit about yours, but I feel like, just looking at the organization, Hendrick seems to be doing better this year. I don't, my own observation, I see him running better. Logano's struggling a little bit. Barry, with the association with the Wood Brothers, struggling a little bit this year. Your results not as good as you would probably most people would assume. So, do y'all recognize? Is there some ground to gain? Is there some speed to find? Where do you sort of see yourselves as an organization at this point?
Yeah, I definitely think there's areas to improve. I look at the 1.5 miles have kind of just been our biggest struggle. We got to find speed at those places. The Toyotas, the Hendrick cars, they kind of got our number at the 1.5 miles. Kansas.
Is it a Ford thing? Is it a body thing? Is it?
I mean, RFK definitely runs better than us at 1.5 miles.
That's true.
So they've figured it out. So I think the potential is there to go run and go run top 5.
You remember when we were younger, there was always talk about whose body was best.
Yeah.
Where's that conversation today? Does it matter? The body's pretty similar. The teams look across the aisle and go, damn, them Chevy's got nice quarter panels. We used to do that all the time. It's
definitely not like it used to be, right, with this car. Even the previous generation of car, right, you could kind of see some things a little bit more here and there. Now it's a little bit more set, but I mean, NASCAR has everyone in a box, right? Like there's this performance box you can be in, and it's not very big, but I do think some teams, all the bodies are different. Like I look at Toyota stuff, I feel like they have a little bit more downforce than everybody. I look at the Ford stuff, I feel like we have a little bit less drag than everybody, and I feel like Chevy is kind of in between, like on the downforce and drag numbers. Yep. But I look at, where our speed has been, like everywhere else, I think we've been really good. Like,
outside the 1.5 miles.
Outside the 1.5 miles, I feel like we've been really, really strong. So that's been our biggest emphasis, is how do we get the 1.5 miles closer, to compete? How do we get them closer to RFK, who seem to have a little bit better idea of where the speed is at these bigger tracks? Now, I feel like we're better than them on the other tracks, like short tracks and road courses and stuff like that. But yeah, I think there's room to gain on the 1.5 miles, and those are really important. We have a lot of them, and we got to you got to get stage points in them. You got to go run in the top 7. So that's been the biggest point for our group and our whole organization, is how do we get the 1.5 miles a little bit better? And I think we're inching in. Like, if we didn't have our problems at Texas, I thought we could have ran 6th to 8th pretty good. But woulda, shoulda, coulda. I mean, if. But I do feel like I think we made a gain from Kansas to Texas, and that's just my side speaking. I thought we got a little bit better.
Yeah.
So that's hopeful. I think we're moving in the right direction.
This weekend, you go to Watkins Glen. There's been some conversation. They moved it up in the schedule quite a bit.
Yeah.
And there's been some conversation about that. Weather's looking a little iffy, at least for the rally. I don't know about Sunday.
Sunday looks okay. It's cold.
Yeah, cold.
And Saturday's kind of 50%.
Yep, and they're doing some tire packs.
Tire packs?
Maybe.
Oh,
yes,
they're
coming.
there.
So what do you think about all this?
So the tire packs, they're going to put tire packs off of turn 1, and then they're going to space them out.
So you can do
There's like
slalom.
4 of them. Yeah, we can slalom through there like the toll lane on 77, and then they got a tire wall off the carousel.
Yeah.
Their main thing, I believe, was they don't like us running all off the racetrack.
That's right.
And this is their best way of doing it without enforcing track limits.
Right.
They're kind of self-enforcing.
Do
I think there's a better way to do it? Yeah, than just big old tire packs.
Do you remember why we took the sand out, other than it would be an automatic caution when somebody got stuck?
I think that was the only reason.
That was the only reason?
That's the only thing I could think, or if I get an explanation for it. But, they did the ground. They did all those grinds in the racetrack on the exits.
Knocking the...
Well, they like, I don't know what they called them. Indents, right? So they made like these big rumble strips on the exits.
Yes.
That didn't do anything. We still ran over them.
It's rougher than hell.
Yeah, it vibrates a little bit. Yeah. And that didn't do nothing. They weren't big enough. I've always thought put like turf. Like turf is super slick. It's kind of self-enforcing. There's nothing you can hit.
Yeah.
No one's going to run out there. You can brand it. You can put whatever sponsor you want.
How much turf? You don't need to do the whole thing.
So you got the exit curbing in one, and then
if you had a lane of
leave
turf,
like a lane, and then turf it all the way.
Oh, but you got to have something to slow you
down. Okay, maybe 20 yards of turf, Yeah. But then I feel like we'd still just go over the turf. But you do need something. You can't just have turf to the wall.
If a guy comes down the front straightaway and loses his brakes, you got to have some sort of plan.
Let's be honest, though. How much is that really stopping you?
The sand was pretty decent.
They were saying when Jimmy Johnson lost his brakes, that didn't stop. Yeah,
we're going to jump it. Well, he drove down into the inside curb and took the biggest ramp you could possibly create.
That is accurate.
I don't know if
he jumped half the sand.
He did jump it.
Yeah. I don't know what the best way to do is. But you do have to have safeguards, if you do lose brakes and stuff like that.
I feel like you guys will find you'll go out there and learn how hard you can push it to get to them packs.
Yeah.
And y'all are going to be slapping the packs.
Probably.
In the race.
Yeah.
Just a little bit here.
You hope they don't grab you.
Pushing them.
Yeah.
You knock a pack out of the way, that changes the whole racetrack for everybody. They have to.
Well, it was like, I never ran it when it was like this, but Sonoma, when they had the tires on the inside, like by the end of the race, it was like a lane and a half down. Yeah. And now there's a wall.
Some were missing.
Where you can't. Yeah.
Some were over on their sides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But I mean, you can't like slalom through them for speed. They're going to call you on that.
Yeah.
NASCAR will. Like if you get pushed out, then that's a racing thing. But it's not like you can just bomb it off in between them and come back because they're going to call you.
They will, yeah.
But
that'll be interesting. Yeah. So, and I mean the cold temperatures. What will that do? Does that just make it fast?
It's gonna be fast. Yeah. I mean, the Glen is one of the fastest road courses we have anyway. So yeah, you're going to be really like hauling the mail through 2, 3. Qualifying is going to be pretty quick if it's not raining.
If it rains and they race Saturday, more than likely going to have pretty nasty little racetrack.
Yeah.
Could be pretty slick.
That's not a wide racetrack, too.
No.
Because it was a few years ago, we had a rain race in the Cup cars, and it's kind of fun, but
you can't get offline as much.
No, you can't get offline.
You're trying to get out of the traditional racing line, but you can't.
Yeah, it's not as much runoff. And it was raining so hard, there was a freaking waterfall coming down the hill from 3 to 2 to 1. It was. I think they ended up delaying it for a little bit because it got pretty bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's going to be it. That would be one of the toughest places to race in the rain, just because it's narrow, not a lot of offline running you can do, like you said. And then with the tire packs, you're definitely not going for the grip.
Well, we talked about the pit road. Y'all did make some changes, and so we've yet to, I guess, really see how those are going to net out. We were talking about it on this show about how much input you might have on a decision like that. And my estimation was your input would be 0.
Yeah.
There's coaches, there's really, really smart people that know these crews and know the backup guys and where everybody's at and who could actually come in and make, who you could switch a guy out with. So when that, do you just get a call and they go, hey man, Have a new guy on the right rear.
Yeah. I saw the clip of y'all talking about that on this show, and you are like 95% accurate on that. You know, like I'm not one sitting there be like, we got to change this guy with that guy and this guy. Like I said, I mean, we have pit coaches, higher ups that are making these calls that see these guys work every single day. We have a great team of coaches back there that really understand what's going on and where do they think is going to be the best route. They will ask my opinion, you know, of, hey, we're thinking about doing this and that, and, you know, what do you think? And it's not like my opinion has much weight, but they want to make sure I'm on board. So I appreciate them, you know, including me in the conversation, but I'm not the one with the gavel and, you know, making the calls. Right. So I leave that to those guys. But I mean, what you said on the show when you were talking about it, like my main job is to get everybody together, on board, happy, no matter who it is. If it's you're a new guy, welcome to the team. Here's how we do it. We're happy to have you. Like, you know, let's go to work. You know, so I'm the pump up guy, right? With those, I'm not the decision maker on that. Like, I have to make everybody part of the team.
You're a good cop.
Yeah.
Well, I want to talk to you about fatherhood and a couple other things, but before we move on to some personal life stuff, the next gen at super speedways. You know, NASCAR, I know NASCAR is going to be curious as to how this conversation goes, but I want to commend them because they're trying. Yeah. Right? We didn't have a long enough runway to make any meaningful change to the car, so they do the stage thing, and they made an attempt to try to make things better at Talladega, but as we've talked about on this show, and Denny's pointed out rightfully on his show, Chase, you guys all have said this in your opportunities to talk in front of the media after races and before races and whatnot, that when the reason why I think we see these cars run 2x2 and race to the finish without anybody making any moves is because when you pull out a line, even if everybody's saving fuel running half throttle, if you decided, hey, I'm going to pull out a line, I got to run, and I'm going to come at it and go 100% throttle, the car is so draggy, you'll drop to the back of the pack. Yeah. And everybody knows it, so they're not going with you. Yeah. You know what? There is some testing that is planned, and it's being promoted kind of like we used to have Speed Weeks or the January test dates. We'd go down to Daytona for 3 days and try all these little puffs and you know, cows and all kinds of fun stuff. And we don't do that anymore, but they're going to go down there and try a bunch of stuff, right? And I've not heard anything about what they might try or what they're dreaming up. But you know, what's your thoughts just about that entire conversation? Yeah. Do you have opinions on some things that you hope they try? You may have heard they're going to try.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think the easiest, you just got to get drag out of them. You know, I mean, that's the spoiler is massive on them, and especially after if you have a wreck and then your car count is drastically reduced, then it makes it even worse for like a third lane to ever come. Like it can kind of develop in some cases when there's a full pack and you get like full commit of guys. But if you have a wreck and then there's 20 cars left, you're never going to get a third lane, right? It's just going to be 2x2, and that's how it goes. And I do think you got to take drag out. You have to get spacing in between the cars, you know? Now we're just all on top of each other all the time. There's nowhere to go. There's no holes. Like, you know, when we were running in 16, 17, stuff like that, like we had the air bubble, but like there was spacing in between cars. You can kind of shoot the middle. Guys would kind of separate a little bit. You could kind of
pull into a lane,
island hop type of thing, you know? Now it's just, there's nowhere to go. Like we're just beating the rear bumpers off these things all the time because they're so draggy and you're just running through the guy. So I think that's where it's got to start. You got to take spoiler off of it. And then whatever math you have to do to keep them under your mile per hour that you want, if you want to keep them under 200 or whatever, you just got to get the delta from a single car qualifying run to the pack. It's way too big. Yeah. Now,
it's like 180 to it's 180 by yourself, 188 or 181 or something.
I think it's even slower.
Slower than that?
Yeah.
So it's like 20 miles an hour right now, 15 to 20 mile an hour running by yourself versus the pace you'll run in the race, which is, that's a great point.
And like when we used to qualify in Daytona with the other car, I think the pull speed one year was like 195, and the pack we were running 200.
Yeah.
You know, like, so you can do it.
Yeah,
I think that's a big thing. You got to get that a little bit closer, and that's just drag.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be fun. I don't know that I don't know that I have any idea of what they could try. I have a similar, absolute similar opinion as you about the drag. I would love to like be in the room or hear some of the conversations about what they're planning or what they when they eventually start to have those conversations.
Yeah, I mean, because that would fix the fuel save. Yeah. The only reason we fuel save now is because it's hard to go from the back to the front.
Yeah.
So you have to position yourself at the front.
That's right.
So if you eliminate that, where it's easier to where you can use your skills or your car handling is better, you can go from forward or backwards. A lot easier.
Yep.
So
the thing that I think, I'm hesitant to do this because a lot of people will say that it's probably not possible or it's silly to think about it like this. But so I'm just going to go back. There's a lot of years I could pick, but I'm going to pick 1979. I could pick 84. There's a lot of races that are popping up in my mind. But if you look at the last lap of the 79 Daytona 500 and how Donnie Allison laid back in turn 1 and 2, he planned this run that he would get down the back straightaway, and his car was able to develop this run, pull out, and probably clear Cale Yarborough if Cale didn't run him into the grass. What happens to allow that car to develop the run off of the draft, and then when he pulls out, it doesn't completely kill the car? So there's something that we need to be doing about the drag of the car that's wanting to make the move, but there's also something that needs to be considered about the lead car. And so I'm afraid, I guess, if we just stripped a bunch of drag off the cars, they're going to run instead of only bumper to bumper. It'll create the beach ball effect again, which is fine.
Yeah.
But they'll run a half a car length to a car length apart, and nobody will be able to get a run at all. And we'll have a everybody will run to the top, and we'll have and that was the issue with that other car. If you got really good at playing the beach ball, like you were really good at it. You could take everybody.
Brad was really good at it. You could string everybody.
Run 40 laps single file.
Yeah. So that's the fear of that, right?
It is.
So how do you eliminate the beach ball effect?
Yeah.
Right. How do you eliminate that air bubble type scenario? And I don't know. I'm not smart enough to do it. But
I don't think that we need to. I use that 79 Daytona 500 example. In 84, they still had what was called the slingshot pass. All through the 70s, all into the 80s, all the way up until we put the plates on. When we put the plates on, the slingshot pass somewhat went away. What I think would be good, or what might be a nice test, is to take a lot of our different cars to the wind tunnel. So take the car we ran in 79 to the wind tunnel. Get numbers on that.
Yeah.
Take the car we ran in 88 or 85. Pick a year, 95, 2004. Get all the data on all these different versions. Just for information. Just really for nothing more than just to know what the drag was, and what the downforce was. Just to have that information in your hand as you're going through this process. Because there's something that, there's something to be said about how those cars interacted with each other that allowed them to be able to do these things. Now, you also have to look at horsepower and all that too, torque, and things are a lot different. But I think that's one of the things that, could help them understand. I don't know that they truly understand really what direction to go.
Yeah.
Right. Other than, take some drag off.
Right.
But
it's easy for us to sit here and be like, just take drag off the cars and that'll fix it. And
it might be more important to know specifically where on the car to remove the drag. The spoiler is a great idea. Back in the day, they didn't run spoilers. They laid them down 10, 20 degrees, right? And they had a lot of great passing, right? Yeah. So maybe, spoilers are a great area to focus on, but maybe the front of the car needs to be draggy. Maybe the nose and the grill and all that needs to have drag.
Right.
You know, so that, you know, the guy, I want to allow you, the following car, to create a run big enough that you can pull out and pass. But I do want you to stall at some point, right? I don't want you to just drive away.
Right.
So, you know, there's a balance between how much drag remains on the front half of the car versus the rear. I think that's kind of where I'm, because man, every car from the 70s all the way through the 90s had quite a bit of drag on the nose.
Right. The noses were stock noses.
But the backs weren't, right? They made the backs tiny, small, narrow, laid the spoiler down. There's nothing back there, right, behind the back glass.
I think it'd be neat if we went to those places and you could pick whatever spoiler angle you want to run.
Dude.
Like, here's your size spoiler, but you can pick whatever angle you want to run in.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and everyone would be like, well, you know, they'll just engineer it out to where everyone's going to be running the same angle. Like, nah, I mean, some people might get a little more bold,
more aggressive.
Hey, let's take a shot. Let's lay this thing down a couple more degrees than everybody else. Let's tilt this thing up a little bit to where we can really run hard the whole run. You know, I think that'd be a pretty fun thing to try if we do this like testing.
I think it would be cool, and this was mentioned in some conversations that we've been in, if they had a different package for qualifying that allowed us to go out there and really flirt with some of the records. Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
Because people just want us, that would make qualifying quite compelling, right? To see guys go out there and have to actually drive a and things.
Yeah. I mean, you look at, you know, back in the 70s, they'd go to Talladega, they'd enter on the bottom, big old diamond, and just hanging on to the thing, right?
Yes. Busted ass.
That would be awesome.
I don't know, man. You might do it and go, holy never again. I say
that now before.
That's what qualifying at Old Atlanta was like. You remember that, right? Like that was white knuckle.
Oh, yeah.
White freaking knuckle.
Yeah. I mean, there's some places we go to now that are like white knuckle stuff, right? But I remember like even like Michigan, we'd go there like 16 or something. We'd be
almost wide open.
Freaking almost wide open. And you're like, you get through 1 and 2 and you're going to the backstretch. You're like, all right, I can do this.
One more.
Like, one more. I got to just fucking hold it wide open. And sometimes it would stick, sometimes not. But like that in the back of your head, like that's really cool.
It is.
Like,
the
worst was when we went to Fontana and they'd have the freaking mile per hour board in the turn one, and you're running down the front stretch and you're looking at that thing. And you're like, 212, 213.
Yeah.
Like, oh, got a turn.
No, that was a distraction. Guys, it's back, and I'm excited because now you don't have to go hunting all over for good barbecue. Arby's is bringing back that slow-smoked goodness straight to the drive-thru. I've been waiting all year for Arby's to bring back their barbecue sandwich lineup this year, and it's even better than ever. We're talking a 1/4 pound of pulled pork smoked for 4 hours and a 1/4 pound of chopped brisket smoked for a full 13 hours. Now that's real barbecue, low and slow. On pit road, we work fast, but in the barbecue pit, slow is how you get it right. And they got it right. And the sweet and spicy barbecue sauces are back too, so you can mix it up however you like. I'll be honest, 13-hour brisket from a drive-thru, I had to try it. I picked up a sandwich the other day for lunch on my way to the shop, and it surprised me. It's legit. Low and slow in fast food, it's kind of wild, but it works. Arby's is doing real, authentic barbecue that's so good you won't believe that you got it at a drive-thru. Everybody knows Arby's has the meats, so if you can count on anyone to do barbecue right, it had to be Arby's. Available for a limited time at participating locations while supplies last. Prices may vary. Get your barbecue sandwich at Arby's near you today. All right, man. So, got a chance to see you find the love of your life, get married, had a great ceremony. Now you're a father. What's the what's the challenges today with fatherhood? I remember, waking up every few hours in the middle of the night. I don't know where exactly you are on the path. It kind of changes.
Yeah, it changes every week.
Yep.
Changes. It could be 7 hours straight. You get a little of the rest, or it's every couple hours.
Yeah.
It just depends. And I would say Charlie's never been a great sleeper. He doesn't nap very good. He don't sleep very good. I mean, that's the challenging part. I mean, I think just getting out of your routine, especially right away, right? You're used to this style of life, no kid, you can kind of do what you want, sleep all the time, yada yada, and then just the shock of like, oh wow, this is just a huge 180. It takes a little while to get used to, but then I think you get comfortable with that. Like, I don't mind. Like if he's having a rough night, waking up every couple hours, like, all right, that's fine. Like I'll go hang out with you a little bit and try to get you back to bed. And I think the toughest thing for me, like, and it's going to get even harder as he's getting older, is like leaving.
Yeah.
Is way harder to leave the house for the weekend. Even during the week, like if I have to go to the race shop for meetings, I'm going to be gone all day.
Yep.
It's hard to leave, but it makes up for it when you do come back.
Yeah.
And you see them and they haven't seen you all day and they light up. But yeah, I mean, everything has its challenges. And I'd honestly think the most challenging part was when Gianna was pregnant and getting close to giving birth. She had a lot of issues she had to go through. So that was tough to watch and obviously tough for her to go through. But we're lucky everything turned out great. But it's crazy. I leave for the weekend for 3 days and I come back and he's a completely different kid. Looks different.
That is hard to explain to people that haven't never experienced it.
Nuts.
Because you're like, no, 3 days, how could they change?
Yeah.
But they've got a new word or two.
Yeah.
And they've got a new smirk or a mannerism.
Yeah. I'm like, when did he start doing this? She's like, oh, yeah, the day you left, he started doing this. I'm like, it's just like no big deal to her because she's seeing it.
Yeah.
And she's like had experience with this for a couple of days. I'm like, man, it's just overload for sure.
Yeah.
But,
have you been able to witness some firsts?
Yeah. First, we're starting to get him on to some foods, so that's been fun.
Like?
He likes peaches.
Yeah.
Like ground up, mushed up, not like I'm not giving him a peach and letting him eat it. But he likes peaches, does not like bananas, so that's fun. Those are the only two we've tried so far. I'll tell you, I don't know if you ever ate the baby food, the mushy peaches. Dude, it's good.
Oh, really?
Dude,
what?
I eat
I
with
never
them.
tried it. I'm
No,
sorry.
you
I
didn't
probably
try
should.
it?
Yeah. That's probably one thing should have done.
It's just mushy peaches. Like it's just like kind of liquid form.
Ugh.
It looks like a smoothie, honestly. Like if you put it in a smoothie, it's fine. But first laugh was kind of fun. Like first belly laugh I got to witness.
Yeah.
And we actually got it on camera. We were changing him in his crib and we got the little camera. And so that was fun. We were getting ready to give him a bath and like I was taking his stuff off and he liked it and like first belly laugh and I started cracking up, man. And we had it on camera, so that was kind of sweet.
Hey,
yeah, that was the coolest first, I think.
Man,
because he would kind of grin, smile, but not really make a ton of noise. And the first time he like cracked himself up, I was like, oh, that's pretty funny. Yeah.
That's awesome. What's your dad like? What's your dad? I've been a big fan of your dad's. Just love the person he is, and just wondering what he's like as a
as a granddad. He's unbelievable. He had some experience. My older sister has had two kids.
That's
right. 5 and 7.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't live here. They live in West Virginia.
Did she have boys, girls?
All boys.
He's had boys.
Actually, has 3 boys.
3 boys.
Yeah, she has a 5, 7, and her youngest one is like 3 months.
Oh.
So so it's all boys that he's got. But no, he's great. Like it's funny to see my dad. Like I know how my dad was with me, right? My dad was kind of, stern guy, and then with Charlie as a granddad, he's like a mushy teddy bear. Yeah. It's funny to see.
Did you look at him? When you were deciding to make these changes in your life, so. You've won races, you've done things in the professional world where your dad was a witness to it, right? And you'd win a race or you'd win a championship, and your dad would be there, and you would get to see his pride and his enjoyment in it, and you get really, really, really enjoy that, I'm sure. When you're making these milestones in your personal life, marriage, buying land and just trying, doing general adulting, right?
Yeah.
And now becoming a father, do you allow yourself to kind of like watch him and be proud,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. And I think, I've been really lucky that I've had a great family like around me.
Yeah.
And, my dad turning into like the race coach dad to like, he's still there a lot. I'll call him up, get his opinion on some stuff on the racing side, but like he just I think he likes doing the outside stuff now more. He likes watching me do the outside stuff more. Yeah, just same thing. Like he just loves like seeing me live, as an adult and things like that. And
less that track, because like when you were going through, I guess I'm asking you, when you were going through your championship, trying to win. And you're at Martin's, he was all in, like he's hands on. He was talking to you every day, like in your ear. And so there's less of that now, and there's more of just kind of enjoying your the life you've created for yourself.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, he's still there. I mean, but I would say for my dad, like the last 5 or 6 years, I'm kind of more pulling on him, like, hey, what are your thoughts on this? What's your opinions? Like he kind of took a step back of being. Instead of calling me first, like I'll kind of call him first about some stuff. I'm like, where are you going? Like, I still need your help. Like, I want your opinion on this stuff, man. So I think that's just I don't think my dad has ever wanted to be too into like, especially now that I'm, racing for a long time on the Cup side. He doesn't want to be the guy, like always there and earlier in my career, he wanted to be there to help.
Yep.
And now he's like, well, you don't need my help. Like, but hey, I need it. Like, I want your opinion on this stuff and come to Martinsville, go stand in 1 and 2. And he came to Martinsville this year in the spring for practice. And I was like, hey, go, if you want to go stand in 1 and 2. Well, I asked him, I said, what corner are you going to today? He's like, I might watch the entry to 1 a little bit. I might go watch the entry to 3 a little bit. And I was like, all right, well, come talk to me after practice and see what you see. So I just think he enjoys me like growing my personal life.
Yep.
Because it's always been racing. That's all I ever cared about. And then like still being passionate about that, but also having this thing away from your job that you obviously love and the people that you love. I think he enjoys kind of seeing me go through that. So that part's pretty neat. And I always have to tell myself like, it's my parents' first time going through this too. Like you think your parents have been through it all and stuff, but it's their first time that their kids are this age and this is going on for their kids.
You just assume they know.
Yeah. But like they're new at this side. They're new to me having their son having a son. Like they don't know. So that part is, I think it's just neat because you, like you said, you assume they know everything and they know a lot, but when their kids are going through things for the first time, they're also going through these things for the first time. So that's been kind of neat for me to see. Like he was in the hospital all the time when we were, Gianna, when we were giving birth and stuff like that, and seeing him kind of be nervous too, just like me, was kind of neat. We were in it together.
Yeah,
so.
Man. So you got some llamas, and that's
one llama.
One llama. Any other animals?
Yeah, we got goats and chickens.
How many goats?
And 3 goats.
How many chickens?
We had 5. One died.
All right. By old age, just died. No coyote.
No coyote. No, it just was deceased one morning. We were actually gone, and we had
Did you got a pet cemetery yet?
No, not yet. We buried her in the back.
There's your pet cemetery. There you go.
Starting it. Yeah. Hopefully that pet cemetery doesn't become too big. Well, I've watched the movies.
You're gonna have a pet cemetery because you got chickens, goats, and llama. Now that's just the beginning. That's the front end of this whole thing.
Oh yeah, that's the early draft board we're gonna get. Gianna has plans on many more.
Sure. I'm building a barn.
Oh yeah,
as we speak.
Nice. What are you gonna put in there?
It's got 8 stalls.
Horses.
It's right in. If you're standing in my house looking out the front door, it is right there.
Okay.
It's right across the driveway.
So horses are coming, or?
Well, we have right now already. We have 3. I get this backwards, but we have 5 donkeys and 1 mule.
Okay.
So they're all rescues.
What differs a donkey from a mule?
Donkeys are shorter. I probably have this backwards. Donkeys are shorter. Mules are bigger.
Okay. Mule is closer to a horse.
Maybe I got 5 mules and 1 donkey.
Okay.
I don't know, but there's the donkeys or the mules. They're like half the size of a horse. But then we have this really big, beautiful mule. I believe. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And she came. Her name's Tilly. She came from the Amish.
Okay.
And she's beautiful.
Yeah.
Just a really stout animal. And We have a tiny barn that doesn't really have but a couple of stalls, and it's really, really small, and not a lot of coverage for them. It snowed this year pretty heavily, and we were out there running around trying to put covers on them, chasing them down, trying to get the covers on them, and trying to get under a mule or a donkey, snapping that and not trying to get kicked in the head.
Yeah,
it's pretty treacherous.
Yeah, but we thought about doing the donkey before the llama. Because we got the llama to protect the goats. Llamas are like livestock guardians, yeah.
Because the goats are in danger?
Well, coyotes and stuff.
Y'all have them out there where you're at?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. We haven't seen many, but you hear them a lot.
Yeah, we do too. Same. We don't see them that much, but we hear them. I see one every now and then running across the field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah, llamas are great. And we got talking to our friends. That's why we were kind of thinking the donkey route. Yeah. But then our friends were like, you don't want a donkey. They were like, we got llamas. We love them. They protect all of our goats and sheep and stuff like that.
Dad had a couple llamas.
Yeah, they're funny animals. They're really smart. We actually had to get rid. We have another llama. Our original llama we had to get rid of.
What happened?
He was aggressive. No spit. He never spit. He never bit us. I never had many problems with him.
Was he just a talker? What was he aggressive?
So he was a big boy. He was 350 pounds.
Oh,
he was 6 years old. And he was never snipped, right? And he was a breeding llama. So you got to think, this llama, his name was Cusco. Mm-hmm. This llama came from where he was raised with 100 other llamas, was a breeding llama.
Having tons of fun.
Getting tail every day. Yep. Now we take him to our place.
No tail around.
No ass to chase. Like just, different thing from the 6 years of his life. He'd get pretty aggressive. Like he'd kind of charge at Gianna every now and then when her back was turned.
Oh.
I had to set him straight a couple times with me. And then the one thing was my Gianna's mom's boyfriend's kids were in town. And his son is pretty big. He's 16, but he's like he's a pretty big kid. And Cusco come up to him and he kind of got a little nervous and like put his hands up and made himself bigger.
Oh.
And Cusco, I guess, got on his hind legs and freaking pushed him down and was like, and so Gianna called me. I was gone racing somewhere and I was like, all right, we should probably time to send him back. And so we got another one from the same breeder and he's only 6 months and he's like only 120 pounds. So he's going to grow into this place. It's going to be more of his life. So, and he's been fantastic. We had a swap. His name's Kevin. So we named our other one Kevin. So they've been fun though. I love all different types. Every animal has its own personality, and that's what I love about them. Like everything acts different than a dog, or they act different than the goats or llamas, or the chickens have funny personalities. Yeah. Like I just like hanging out down there and seeing their different personalities and kind of how they're going about things.
Yeah, we haven't gotten chicken yet. I've thought about it. We've got.
You should do it. It's.
What's the?
I was a big. I wasn't a big. Oh yeah. We eat eggs all the time. Yeah. I mean, and we only have 4. And
who's in there getting all that out?
It depends who goes down in the morning. Me or Gianna. We'll go down and get the eggs out. But we already had a coop on our property. The previous owners already built one, so it was kind of nice to. It was already 90% done. Mm-hmm. But yeah, chickens are funny, man. They're hilarious. Like they just dig for worms all day. That's what they do, and then they'll go and lay a few eggs and go dig for more worms, and like they're funny little animals. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the eggs are great.
Do they
I'll
make
tell
a
you.
mess?
No, they don't make a mess. It's not bad. I can't eat store eggs anymore.
You can't?
No.
Yeah.
It's so much different.
Yeah.
Like if you even like the farm raised
you're selling me now.
organic eggs.
We eat eggs a lot.
That you buy at the store. Ass compared to like fresh chicken eggs. Yeah. It's unbelievable. Oh, you got to do it.
Okay.
Get like 10 of them. Because you got
10 chickens?
Yeah, well, you got 2 girls.
Damn, dude,
you guys eat eggs every day.
Who's going to take care of these bad boys? They got to get fed. You got to clean the coop every now and then. Do you clean the coop?
I don't.
No?
I don't.
Okay.
I mean, it's a kind of a wire net under the coop, so it just kind of falls underneath it, and insects will eat it, stuff like that. But you should do it. I start off with 5. 5 is a good one because it's
smaller than 10. Jeez.
Yeah. Get you 5.
You'll get overwhelmed.
And you will be. And I can't wait till you do it. And you're gonna text me like these are the best eggs I've ever had in my life. Yeah, it's crazy.
All right, that's the deal.
Yeah,
we're gonna do it. Man, I've really enjoyed this. It's been a while, I think, since we last had you on here.
Yeah.
I feel like that it's good to get you in here and talk to you a little bit about fatherhood and all that stuff, how things are going this year. Love your comments about the point system because, dude, I'm going to talk to Chase a little bit and love him to death. But he's like, yeah, whatever, the chase, the points, whatever, I don't care. I don't look at the points, And most like Kyle Larson, same thing. Yeah, I don't look at the points. I don't. Yeah. It is what it is.
I think they're lying to you.
Yeah, I do.
I think they look at.
They don't tell the truth.
Yeah. Yeah. I think they look at them a lot. But
Hocevar at the Met Gala, yay or nay? I think I know what you're gonna say.
He was at the Met Gala.
Yeah, he went.
What is the Met Gala?
So the Met Gala is a place where they get dressed up in weird clothes. But it's kind of this big thing.
I mean, great. That's good. That's probably a good viewership.
Yeah.
Right? I don't think anyone's been to the Met Gala before.
So you're one of the guys that will say yes to about anything.
Yeah.
In terms of promoting yourself, getting out there. Hey, sitcom. Hey, this. Hey, that. Go to New York, L.A., whatever. You're one of those guys that are like, yeah, all right.
Yeah.
I'm on board.
I'll tell you, that stuff was a lot easier when I was single.
Yeah,
didn't have a family.
Yeah. I'm sure
this year,
I'm sure it's tougher you're a little more selective.
It's hard now.
Yeah.
Like this year, I've been asked to do some pretty neat things, and it's like, man, I can't.
Yeah.
Like I have a 5-month-old at the house.
Totally
like I just can't leave.
But you can appreciate being one of those guys,
sure.
right? You can appreciate seeing Carson out there. I mean, that's we obviously need people doing those type of things, and we don't need everybody at the Met Gala, but we need one guy there. We need a guy over here and a guy over here and a guy over here. And so I didn't even know he was going to go do that. And I thought, okay, how's he going to do? And then I watched his interview, and dude, he's like, I'm sure he was nervous as shit, but he came across like totally regular, normal, right? He didn't he wasn't like struggling to explain why he was there.
Yeah.
He didn't struggle to explain what he was wearing because I guess he had a really nice suit on by some specific
name
designer.
Brand.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
And he knew all this shit, right? He's talking about his shoes and everything else.
Nice.
It really was impressive.
Right. I think it's important to do that stuff, right? I mean, I've said this for years. Like I'd go do tons of stuff. God, I would go film TV shows and stuff in Hawaii and fly back, and that stuff was fun to me.
Mm-hmm.
And not only for me, it was beneficial. It's beneficial to the sport.
It is.
And it's a win-win type scenario. So when you get these handsomely dressed,
he's wearing a watch that his dad gave him. The first watch I think he ever owned.
Oh, nice,
dude. I'm telling you, he did a good job.
A white shirt, white bow tie. Mm-hmm. Nice.
So he won the other week, and there was I was taken aback a bit by how positive, just how much fans enjoyed that or thought of that. He's a polarizing guy. He's done all these things. He's made a lot of mistakes. We've all been hard on him and honest, and he's taken all that really well.
Yeah.
I talk to him all the time, and I'm like, I will totally brutally assess something he does on the racetrack, and then I'll call him the next week and I go, hey man, I'm just doing what I'm supposed to. I'm doing my job. This is it's a podcast and all that stuff. I got to be honest.
Yeah.
Or on the broadcast or whatever. And he's like, all good, man. And so he's I don't know what it's like racing against him because I haven't really ever done that, but I do like his unique personality, and I think he's an asset to the sport.
He's got a unique personality for sure, and I think he's
getting better on the track.
Open. Like he's open with his personality, right? Like he's not afraid to show it. Mm-mm. He'll go do these things. Yes. He's gotten better on the track, I think.
Getting easier to race with. He wants to win bad. He wants to win real bad.
Yeah, we all do. We all do.
Yeah. But he wants to win super bad.
Yeah, I mean, you're trying to think. What he's thinking.
Not
we don't
more
want to
than
win
you.
as
I'm just
much
saying,
as him.
You want to win bad, but you're not doing the things he's doing.
Oh, right, like
recklessly.
Running through guys.
Yes,
Recklessly. Yeah, I mean, everyone goes about it in their own ways, but I think we've gotten a little bit better. We had he spun me at Atlanta a year or two ago into one, and ever since then, like we kind of had to talk about it, and been pretty good ever since. So I know Kyle Busch had some choice words for him at Texas, but
Kyle put him on his list of 3 guys he doesn't like.
I saw that.
And then they were hanging out
before the truck race.
Laughing and talking. Which you're gonna run into guys, even the guys you don't like, and you're gonna be nice. You're gonna smile around them. Yeah.
Run into everybody.
I mean, you're gonna walk up on them. Like,
yeah.
Like, dude, this is an old fable, but every time you run into somebody, you end up in the damn
truck with them
next week at intros. Every freaking time.
Yep. It's inevitable. Yeah. Or if you say something bad about somebody, you're in the truck with them.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
You qualify 18th and 19th, and then you ride in the truck together.
Yeah, it's fate. And it could either go a very silent car ride or
so weird.
Or BS, like being nice to each other, or you could be like, you. I don't like you. Yeah,
no telling.
But it always happens.
It does.
It always happens.
It does. All right, man. Hey, what's next? What you doing today?
Today.
Do you get to go back home?
I'm doing sim.
Yeah.
I'm doing sim.
Sim guy.
For the Glen, yeah.
One of the big sim guys out there.
Not a big sim guy. No, I'm not a big sim guy. I do them before road courses, though. I do enjoy the road courses just to kind of get my visuals down and stuff like that, gear and stuff.
Yep.
And then, I'm going home.
Right.
Yeah. So, pretty decent day.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
Well, hey, enjoy it. Thanks for coming through.
Appreciate having me on. Thank you.
Ryan Blaney on the Dale Jr. Download. Hey, this is Dale Earnhardt Jr., and for all the latest Dale Jr. Download gear, including the "I'm'll drink some beer" t-shirt that we've been talking about here around the office, head over to shop.dirtymomedia.com for all the latest merch. All right, so Ryan Blaney on the Dale Jr. Download. That was a lot of fun. They've had such a tough year on pit road, and but I believe the speed is there. And I thought they had a really, really good car at Texas, a track where he says that the mile and a half they kind of need to improve on. But honestly, man, even though they had the issues on pit road, they made the pit crew change. They were 7th overall on the metrics in terms of just the pit stops themselves. So, maybe they've gotten some of the bugs worked out of the actual pit stops, and once Ryan can get on and off pit road in good form with the pace they have, maybe they can start climbing the rankings a little bit. Just a lot of fun talking to him, man. Such a good dude, just honest, easy to talk to, and thankful that he gave us some time today. We know he's got a busy schedule between fatherhood and racing and prepping for this weekend in Watkins Glen. So thank you, Ryan, and congratulations on the extension. Well deserved, and I think Penske knows the value in that young man, and rightfully wants to retain his services, man, because he's doing a great job for him. So, all right, thanks again for Ryan joining us here in the Arby's studio. Don't forget about Arby's new Meat and 3 box. Get more meal for your money at Arby's. We have the meats, and also don't forget about Fan Day coming up here at Junior Motorsports May 21st. Dirty Mo Media and SiriusXM, they're going to be hosting a handful of shows all throughout the day live. And starting with Larry Mack, Daniel Trotta at 9 a.m. Live on the Arby's stage. And then at 11 a.m., we're going to kick off more Dirty Mo Live with our crew. You don't want to miss it. Kenny Wallace, Mike Davis, they're all going to be up there. Some surprise guests as well. At noon, we'll have Bless Your Heart with my wife, Amy, and myself. And then Door Bumper Clear at 1 p.m. Joining them will be Jordan Bianchi. Come hang out with us on Thursday, May 21st. We'd love to see you out here. A lot of other things to check out as well. A lot of booths, kiosks, sponsors will be promoting all kinds of things. Jerky Boys, all stuff, filter time, whatever. There'll be race cars to look at. Tons of things to do. Come check it out.